Hi, my name is Tim Townley. If you're watching this video, you're probably looking for a quick, easy, budget-friendly solution to shoot some products. In this video, we're going to be building a 20 by 20 inch light box that you can fold and bring with you anywhere, and all for under $20. This is my first in a series of videos to help photographers and videographers with DIY solutions. The first project is to create a light box that you can use to take product photos. Some of these parts you may have lying around the house, and others you can grab from a local dollar store for just under $20. Here's what you'll need. 5 white foam core boards, 20 inches by 30 inches. 1 white poster board, 20 inches by 30 inches. Roll of white paper will be better as an alternative, but if you don't have that, the white poster board will be just fine. Multi-purpose Velcro ties used for cable management. Stop slip pads for rugs, double-sided tape or mounting squares, roll of clear packing tape, a translucent plastic or paper as a diffuser, a light source, LEDs or home lamp, whichever works, tools you'll need, an X-Acto knife or razor blade, scissors, a straight edge to guide your cuts, a long ruler will work, a tape measure, or a long ruler if you have that. Step 1. Cutting. Cut all of your foam core into 20-inch squares. Be careful not to cut yourself or the floor. You can use a craft cutting board or a household cutting board to prevent cutting the floor. Step 2. Taping. Using the template I provided in the description, lay out your pieces and tape your foam core together. Remember that if you want it to fold, put the tape on the correct sides and make the beveled edges as indicated in the diagram. The beveled edges will help it fold back on itself on the opposite side of where it's taped. It's a little tricky to cut, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Be careful not to cut yourself or the floor. Step 3. Velcro. Using the Velcro and double-sided pads or double-sided tape, add the Velcro pieces as shown in the diagram. Best places to hold it together are at the corners. You can add more than me if you want, but really, the 4 corners I've chosen should be more than enough. All the Velcro should be placed on the outside of the light box. This will prevent unwanted black marks on any reflective pieces that you may be taking photos of. Step 4. Non-slip pads. This step is not entirely needed, but I highly recommend it because the light box is so light it will tend to move around. Even from a little wind or even just walking by it, you might hit it. So having these non-slip pads really makes a difference. Step 5. Lighting. Your lighting is one of the more important parts here. You can use almost any house lamp. The wider the spread of light, the better. You want to try to get as soft a shadow as possible. If you do decide to use LED lights, try to get daylight if possible. The lights I found at the dollar store were way too blue and not a good option to use, so I can use a lamp or a cheap little LED video light like the one I'm using here. There's a link in the top corner here where you can see a review on the light and a link where you can buy it. Once you've decided on your lighting, you can set it up on the top of the light box. For my setup, I cut out a hole that's slightly smaller than the light so it can rest on the top. Alternatively, you can line the inside of the box with your LED lights by taping them in. To prevent harsh shadows, you should add some kind of diffusion. I used a semi-opaque plastic tablecloth and doubled it up to give it a little extra diffusion. You may be able to find something a little better than this, like diffusion paper or something like that. If you're using a house lamp, be careful not to put it too close or you could melt the plastic or burn the paper. Step 6. This is a bonus one. So, bounce cards. For the opening in the front of the box, it's a good idea to use leftover pieces as bounce cards. You can configure them however you like. These bounce cards will help reflect the light back to your subject and fill in some of those shadows. It's good to use this technique even if you're not using a Lightbox. Step 7. Seamless background. For most of your standard e-commerce style images, you'll be using a white background. So we're going to use a piece of white poster board and fit it into the box on the back. So curving it, kind of covering the back bottom seam. If you're able to find a roll of white paper or something a little longer than the poster board I have here, that would be even better. This will allow you to go all the way from the front to the back top and take full advantage of your real estate. Don't be afraid to be creative with this and experiment with different colors of paper and lights to see what kind of results you get. At this point, you should be about ready to try your first shot and test it out. Put your product or object in your Lightbox, set your camera up on a tripod, set your shutter, ISO, aperture, focus, and take your photo. If you'd like to learn more about setting up your camera or more about shooting products in this kind of setup, there's a ton of videos on YouTube. But I recommend checking out Dustin Dolby on his channel, Workflow. He has some really cool, easy to follow product photography videos. I'll put a link to his channel in the corner here and in the description below. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this was a fun DIY project for you, and I'd love to hear about how yours turned out. Leave a comment below, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and notification bell to get alerted of my next video. Can't wait to see you next time. Until then, bye for now.